Hello, and welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to provide you with a comprehensive guide on preparing for coding interviews using Python, covering key topics and strategies. Python for coding interviews, everything you need to know. Number 1. Understand the basics of Python syntax and data types. Familiarize yourself with basic syntax, data types such as integers, floats, strings, lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries, and their operations. Control structures. Learn about if, else, for, and while statements. Functions. Understand how to define and call functions, including arguments, return values, and lambda functions. Example of an integer. Age equal 30, and if you print age, the output will be 30. You can also perform arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let's say you want the result equal to age plus 5. Once you run the code again, the output will be 35. An example of a float, temperature. Similar to integers, floats can also be used in arithmetic operations. You can print a float, or subtract 1.5 in this case, which will give you 97.1. In Python, strings are used for representing textual data. Alice is a string, and we can print her name. You can also concatenate strings, find their length, and access individual characters. Put your message in quotation marks and add on the name of Alice by using a plus sign as illustrated. The printed message will be, "Hello, Alice." We have a list of fruits and are presented in an array. Lists are mutable, meaning you can change their contents, add or remove elements. In this case, we are adding to a list, and we are using a method called append. The new list will have orange as a new fruit. Tuples are immutable. You can access elements but cannot change them. If, for instance, you have a coordinate at index 0, it will remain the same. Let's talk about sets. First of all, from the first set, only unique numbers will be printed out, as duplicates are removed. Sets allow you to perform operations like union, intersection, and difference. The second set of other numbers have 3 as a duplicate, and if we put the two sets together, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No duplicate should be present. Next, dictionaries. You can access, modify, and add key value pairs in dictionaries. We have a dictionary, and we want to modify age from 20 to 21, and at the same time add a new key value pair. The output will display our dictionary updated for both the age and computer science added on as a major. Number 2. Control structures in Python. Let's start with if statement. You have age equal 18. The condition is that age must be greater or equal to 18 to print you are an adult. That's the case here. For else statement, the first condition is not valid in this case because age equals 16, and the condition checks if age is greater or equal to 18. The second condition will print instead since age is 16. You are not an adult. This is an example of an if, elif, else statement. We have age equal to 70, and the first condition verifies if age is less than 18. Nope. Then moves to the second condition to check if age is less than 65. Nope. Since age is 70, you are a senior citizen will be printed. Let's move on to the for loop. We have a list of fruits, apple, banana, and cherry. By applying the for loop to our list, this will print each fruit in the list as a for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, like a list, tuple, or string, one by one. Finally, let's look at our last type of control structure in Python, the while loop. A while loop repeatedly executes a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. We have the count equals 0, and the count is true as long as it is less than 5. This will print numbers 0 to 4 by incrementing count by 1 represented by plus equal 1. Bubble sort is a simple comparison-based sorting algorithm. It repeatedly steps through the list, compares adjacent elements, and swaps them if they are in the wrong order. Merge sort is a divide-and-conquer algorithm. It divides the list into halves, sorts each half, and then merges the sorted halves back together. Quicksort is also a divide-and-conquer algorithm. It selects a pivot element from the array and partitions the other elements into 2 subarrays, according to whether they are less than or greater than the pivot. Bubble sort is simple but inefficient for large lists, O(n) power of 2, time complexity. Merge sort is more efficient and has a time complexity of O(n) log n, making it suitable for larger datasets. Quicksort is also efficient with an average time complexity of O(n) log n, but its worst case is O(n) power of 2, which can occur when the pivot selection is poor. Defining and calling functions. To define a function, use the def keyword followed by the function name in parentheses. Def greet. This line defines a function named greet. Print, hello user. The body of the function, which executes when the function is called. Greet. This line calls the greet function, resulting in hello user being printed to the console. Functions with arguments. Functions can accept parameters, allowing them to operate on different data. Def add a, b defines a function that takes 2 parameters, a and b. Return a plus b. The function returns the sum of a and b. Result equals add 5, 3 calls the function with 5 and 3, storing the result in result. Print sum result outputs sum equal 8. Functions with default arguments. Default arguments allow functions to have predefined values if no arguments are provided. Def multiply a, b equals 2, defines a function with a default value of 2 for b. Result 1 equals multiply 4 calls the function with 4. b takes the default value 2, resulting in 8. Result 2 equals multiply 4, 3 calls the function with both 4 and 3, resulting in 12. Lambda functions. Lambda functions are small anonymous functions defined with the lambda keyword. They are often used for short, throwaway functions. Square equals lambda x(x)(2) defines a lambda function that squares its input. Result equals square 5 calls the lambda function with 5, resulting in 25. Print square of 5 result outputs square of 525. Higher order functions. Python functions can also take other functions as arguments or return them as outputs. This is particularly useful for functional programming. Def apply underscore function, func, value, defines a higher order function that takes a function and a value. Return func, value, applies the provided function to the value. Result equals apply underscore function, lambda x plus 3, 5 calls apply underscore function, passing a lambda that adds 3 to its input, resulting in 8. Common coding interview topics. String manipulation. Practice problems that require reversing strings, checking for palindromes, and string compression. Arrays and lists. Work on problems involving rotations, merging, and partitioning arrays. Linked lists. Learn how to implement and manipulate linked lists, including reversing and merging linked lists. Trees and graphs. Familiarize yourself with binary trees, tree traversal algorithms, in order, pre-order, post-order, and graph traversal, DFS, BFS. Dynamic programming. Understand the principles of dynamic programming and solve problems like the Fibonacci sequence and coin change.